We're ready to go?
Yes.
It's been a long time. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Film Hustlers.
What's up?
Back.
Hey, last week it was Film Hustler. And talked about non-scripted and you know what? It's pretty messed up. I was like, wow.
Keeping it real.
It's like the desert out there.
Is it though? Is it?
I mean, not for some people. Like if you're working, you don't feel it. Like I'm in the wake of someone who works all the time, so it's very different. Like it's hard to imagine that the world is as bad as it is. But we're going to Buffalo for a movie, and I was talking to the guys, one of the crew members, and they said there hasn't been a film in Buffalo for a year and a half.
Wow. Not
one movie. Maybe that's wrong, but that's what she said. She was like, we haven't seen a film in this area for a year and a half. So everyone's excited that you guys are coming into town, and everyone's pumped. But I don't know.
You guys are doing 2 movies there, right?
There's 2 movies being done, through Mario's production deal.
Are you working on both of them?
Mm-hmm.
So you'll be in Buffalo for a while.
I'm going to be in Buffalo for a minute. But these films are fast. It's like 3 weeks and we're out. So it's I mean, when I did Meet Me Next Christmas, I was in Toronto for
3 months,
14 weeks. That's a long time to be away, But on these ones, it's like, in and out. Everyone's excited, though. I was talking to Gemma, our line producer, and I was talking to Galvan, our director of photography. I was talking to Sam.
Hey, Sam and that crew
They're all excited.
Just did a really kick-ass short film that Alarcon cut together.
Yeah, Rich Alarcon cut the movie together. Apparently he did a great job. And they... Sam and Gemma opened a production company together.
Yeah.
So they're not only doing, I think they've done, this is like their second short, but they're doing commercials. Like Sam directed a commercial.
Yeah.
They just directed some other,
so
a couple of other things.
You might be losing them.
No, I mean, yeah, maybe. I mean, I'd be totally stoked if I did, though. If they started doing their own thing, it'd be amazing. I mean, that's the whole point, right?
Sam's got the credibility. Look at when we had him on the show. Look at the films that he's worked on. Have been around.
Oh yeah,
he's done amazing stuff. Yeah,
he's done some really cool stuff.
Yeah, he's done amazing stuff. I mean, there's no question that Gemma and him, opening a company, I'm sure they're going to do great. So these guys are out of Las Vegas. If you're ever looking for a production company to do your commercial or your movie, and you guys are shooting in Vegas or in the area, they are the guys to go to. I don't know how to get I don't know the name of their company, but I forgot the name of the company. But if you can look them up on IMDb, look up Gemma Jones or look up Sam Haviland, and then maybe later we'll throw you the name. But they are a great team, and we've been making movies with them since 2020. I was just trying to count the other day. We've done 3, 4, 5. So this will be our 7th. This year we will have made 7 films since 2020 together.
Wow.
But they're all excited. We're all excited. People are making movies, and then there's a lot of people not making movies. I did also speak with the union, IATSE, and they were like, it's dead. It really is dead out there. I don't know if that means there's a bunch of people making indie films without the union.
Right.
Hard to do, though, when there's not a lot of films. They catch you. They don't have a lot going on. They go after you.
True.
So call and make your deal early. They're pretty reasonable for indies. And it's nice, too, because people need their health insurance and their pension and health, right? There's no point in
spend a few extra bucks
skirting that,
Come on, Davey. Dave, don't be like that.
Raise a little money, and pay people what they should be making. There's nothing wrong with that. But I was thinking today about my favorite movie of all time.
Widowmaker.
It's The Idolmaker. Did you say Widowmaker? No, The Idolmaker is my favorite movie of all time. And as I get older, I think about a lot of the films that I loved, and I watch them again. Watch them again, and they're as good as they ever were. Do you have a film that you think about often that you go back and watch every once in a while?
Yeah.
What is it?
Well, I watch a few. I watch a handful. I watch Sandlot.
I'll
watch Back to the Future. I'll even watch new ones like Edge of Tomorrow. I can always watch those.
And it's inspiring.
Yeah, because they all have something different, but I can always... those are my feel-good movies.
Yeah. What's yours, Tootie? The Godfather.
No.
Yeah, you can throw Goodfellas.
I like 8.5. Fellini. It's probably my favorite.
8.5. I don't even know what that is.
No. I'd probably say if I had to go back, I got thrown a monkey wrench not too long ago with my wife being screen free, so I got to watch everything on my phone.
Wait, you guys don't have a TV?
We do. We don't use it though because my kids they go to Waldorf school, so we don't have.
Don't promote it.
Yeah, exactly. And anytime I turn anything on, it's like a big fucking deal. I guess if I would have to pick films that I would return to when I was watching movies a lot, I like Goodfellas. Just for the
great movie.
Yeah, just for the acting and the storytelling. I like pretty much anything Martin Scorsese does. I like Tarantino films. Mm-hmm. But then I also like, I like the greats. Like Christopher Nolan's a good storyteller. His movies are always great.
Great storyteller, yeah.
I like finding movies. You know what I watched the other day on a plane? Actually, that's when I watch most movies when I'm traveling. I watched an old movie called A Simple Plan with Billy Bob Thornton and Bill Paxton.
Good movie.
Really good.
Yeah.
Well written.
Yeah.
Really, really, really good movie. I just kind of, I don't know. I watched Jason Reitman. He did Saturday Night. That was really good. That's out right now. So it just depends. But I would say I'm not so much a particular movie as I'm filmmakers.
Yeah.
Like I said, Scorsese. You can't go wrong with Spielberg. His stuff's always solid, but I lean more towards the filmmaker.
That's awesome. Now I was just thinking about it because when
is it awesome?
It is awesome to love something like that. Well, because I was going to say, like, partially when you watch an old film like that, you realize why you were inspired. True. Because when you watch movies when you're a kid, you have this weird feeling in your stomach, like you want to be part of something like that. I mean, clearly you don't know how hard it's going to be, but you're watching it and you're seeing these actors and you're like admiring them and you're thinking, oh man, it'd be so cool to be part of something like that. And then you grow up and and it's different, but but when you watch them again, you remember that feeling you had about wanting to make movies, about wanting to to be part of that group of people that are out there pretending, But it is a lot of fun to go back. I was watching The Goodbye Girl the other day, which I thought was amazing. I accidentally turned on the TV,
can't find it. I've been looking for the production company on my phone. I can't find it.
Ask Gemma. I was in a hotel room and I accidentally turned on the TV and Gladiator was on.
Yeah.
And I had to watch the whole thing. It was like 3:00 in the morning when I went to sleep because it was so good. I was like, holy mackerel.
Ridley Scott.
Yeah, he's
great
amazing.
Filmmaker, yeah.
Amazing filmmaker.
I watched Mary the other night.
Oh, yeah, Mary, how was that? I kind of want to watch that. I've never seen it.
It was good.
It's on Netflix.
Yeah. DJ Caruso directed. My buddy Charlie Boone's in it. Shout out. Was good. Anthony Hopkins, obviously, is an incredible actor.
Yeah, he's great.
He was great. The girl, she was the lead who played Mary. She was a Israeli actress. She was really good. You know what I mean? It was well done. I mean, it was #1 on Netflix for a while.
Yeah, it's amazing. People were anticipating it. It was. I think it was coming in right after Christmas or in January, something like that. Yeah.
They're Commonwealth Productions.
Commonwealth. There we go.
Commonwealth. Okay, so if you want to know about Gemma Jones and Sam Haviland, their company is Commonwealth Productions out of Las Vegas, Nevada. They're terrific. They do films.
They're crazy.
They could produce. Yeah, they could produce films. They could. Sam's a director. She's a producer. Great producer. They could do commercials. They could do shorts. They kind of do it all. So
promos. They do promos. They do hotels.
It all. Yeah. I mean, they're our go-to when we go make movies. So.
And Galvan does all their shooting, so you get that package.
Ryan Galvan's their DP. So yeah, it's a beautiful package. If you guys need something or need a film or you need a partner, they're your guys. They're really terrific. Yeah. But yeah, it's interesting to watch old films. And it's also interesting, like, we're making movies now, but everyone's saying how things are changing and how there's not a whole lot of work out there. After talking to Ann last week, it was like, okay, well, there's not a lot going on because non-scripted television is changing. And it's true. Like, what's your favorite non-scripted show from before? Like, currently, all the ones that work are still on from 10 years ago, right? The Kardashians, All the cooking shows are still on.
Storage Wars.
Storage Wars is still on.
Celebrity IOU.
Celebrity IOU. So there's
going to be a great episode coming up in the near future.
There's a lot of things that have been on for a long time that keep working, and then when you try to pitch, before you could pitch like, oh, there's a guy who has a food truck, and he's competing against the guy across the street, and we're going to make a show out of it. They don't do that anymore. No, that's not happening anymore. You can't do it. So, the big conversation was like, what is there to pitch? How can you pitch it? How can you sell it? How can you really make it something that someone would buy? And the answer was, you got to listen to the show because I don't remember. But it's definitely like you can't just come up with just any idea. You have to have some IP now. You have to have something original, maybe a celebrity of some sort, someone that's up and coming. But now like you're on Instagram and you see some chef, a new chef come on, and she's like, there's this rock and roll chef that comes on, and she's got like 500 followers, and then 3 weeks later she's got 4 million followers, right. And then everyone's trying to get her on a show, and that's how it happens now.
Yeah, very true.
And did the show Cheap Old Houses from an Instagram account that posted houses that were made, all bought for under $150,000, sometimes $25,000, sometimes $10,000. She made a show out of it. So, the road to successful non-scripted television seems to be coming from YouTube, from Instagram, from TikTok.
It's almost like you just got to go out and do it and hope that it builds momentum. You know what I mean? Like, for example, Cheap Old Houses. I followed that handle way before the show started.
You had another one too, right? So there was another one you followed that was similar.
There's all kinds. There's international. Like, I like the international one because those are, and it's funny because I see other people that I follow now follow it, right? Because you find these houses, fixer-uppers in like Italy for like, 50 or 50,000 euro.
Yeah.
And then you kind of go, it's like we talked about this before. It's almost like an escapism because you're looking at it, right? And you start panning through the photos, and you're like, "Fuck, I could see myself living there, like overlooking the ocean. How dope!" You kind of like fall into that like make believe. But so there's a few. There's the Cheap Old Houses. There's Cheap Old Houses International, I think. Mm-hmm. And now there's a bunch, because of the success of that, like a bunch of other ones.
Ann's trying to do Cheap Old Houses International.
Hotels.
Cheap Old
hotels.
The hotels. Or Dead Hotels. There's one called Dead Hotels. And I pitched it to Bill Stanky.
Bill Stanky, yeah. He's a king.
Yeah, because it was cool. They show the hotels usually like in the 60s and 70s in their heyday. And then they'll show them now, which are like,
those are cool,
dilapidated, broken.
What about cheap old haunted houses?
I don't fuck with that.
How do you know it's not going to be haunted? That's what I always ask my wife. How do you know you're going to buy a house for $25,000 and it's not haunted?
You don't like that.
I don't know. I'm not down with that. That's not me. I don't even like horror movies.
I don't either. I can't watch them anymore. It's over. Like on dates though, you take to go to Friday the 13th. Friday the 13th.
Well, yeah.
But yeah, it's a weird time. Like, things are changing around the world, and it's changing in film and television. It's changing in reality. I think the answer is you got to just keep plugging away, maybe. I don't know.
I think the answer, kind of going back to everything that we always talk about and just the people we talk to on this, I think honestly the sweet spot is 2 million or under for an independent. Look, I don't know any independent filmmakers who that's all they do. Like, you have to have another job if you're an independent filmmaker, producer, director, writer, actor. Like, you cannot survive off of just being an independent. So with that said, investors want to recoup their money. They need a good ROI. So if you go like 2 million or under, even $1 million, and people say, I can't do it for $1 million. Yeah, you can. You could do a movie for $1 million. You're just not going to make the big payday that you expect. But look at what's the movie that's up for a bunch of Anora.
Yeah.
Like, I watched that guy. He was talking. He was saying this is 30 years in the making. He's an independent filmmaker. He did Tangerine. He did all these indies. Mm-hmm. It's taken him this long to get this recognition, and he's still not making a bunch of money. Right. You know what I mean? It's not the misconception that money is just going to flow. That's what it is. It's a misconception.
That's crazy.
You got to do it because you love it and that you want to do it, and this is what it is. And if you could do movies for $1 million, $2 million. You know, if you can get to 5, great. You know what I mean? But you're not going to start at 5. You're going to start at like whatever you're going to start at, 25,000, 50, 100. Try to get to $1 million if you can, and then that's where you're going to live for a while until you are like this guy from Menorah who's 30 years into it, and he's nominated for an Oscar.
Well, you have to love it to do it. To do indies that often, you have to love it, and you have to sacrifice. You know, you're definitely, like when I was doing indies and I met Ann, I guess I was about 36, and I had done a lot of indies. I had raised a lot of money. I sort of kept doing it for a little bit, but I realized like when I started having kids and, you know, things started happening, I was like, I can't stay in the indie world. I couldn't stay in it because I was sacrificing everything. When I first started, I sold my car to do a show. Yeah. You know, $2,500 for my Corolla. I'll never forget it. I had no car and I had $2,500, and I put it down to put on a show where I invited producers to do it. And I did end up making Plump Fiction with Rhino Records after that, and I bought a Saab. So it was a nice.
You came up.
Yeah, it worked, and I was able to sort of make a jump. But then I was right back where I started again. It was not easy, but
Listen,
you gotta love it.
A wise guy once told me. Okay, a wise man once told me, and you pay attention to this, Roberts. You can't be married and rock and roll.
That's true. But you know who said that? It's not me. I didn't say that.
You say it all the time to me.
I know, but
anytime I can't go somewhere.
Elvis Presley said that. He said he can't be married and rock and roll when he left Priscilla.
And then he died on the toilet.
Poor guy. But he was a legend. He was a legend. I don't know. Would you want to live 40 years like Elvis or 80 years not Elvis? I guess the answer to that is...
Dude, I don't know. That's a good question.
That's amazing, though, right? What an option.
Kids?
I guess, yeah, one kid, but you're just not a good dad.
Not around.
See, tough question.
Please. I don't know. It's hard, but I would say, like, look, if you love it, keep doing it. It is going to turn around. Like, just it is going to turn around. I don't want to be negative about it. You want to be creative. It's what you've dreamt about. You want to keep doing it. You should keep doing it. The hardest part now is because interest rates are so high. Like, people that are rich don't want to give away money. Like, I was talking to Mickey Gooch, right, who's a big investor, and I needed a bridge for a movie that's financed, right? Hey, I'd like a bridge, and he was like, well, what's the return? Now the return has to be like 20-30%, like literally 25%, because the banks are paying a high yield, right? And if you know what you're doing in the stock market, you can make yourself some real money. But when it comes to investors, they're like very smart. They're like, well, I can make more money. I can risk nothing and make more money at the bank. 4%, 5%, 6% if you're lucky. Leave your money in for a while. So it's hard. That's the hardest part. So you have to find investors that believe in you. It's always the same story, right? Investors that believe in you, that believe in your story, and then you have to have an exit plan. How am I going to sell it? Where is it going to go? You know, I used to think like, I have a distributor, Clay Epstein, at Film Mode. That's not really a thing. You know, you have to say something like Warner Brothers. You have to say something like Screen Gems, or you have to say something that's a machine, right? Yeah. Otherwise, investors don't really look at it like it's a real distribution outlet. If you don't have a deal with somewhere it's going to go, it becomes harder to sell.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think if you're living in that, you know, under $1 million world, then it's easier for an investor who likes you, believes in you, sees your passion, gets the film. There's a message behind it that resonates with him. Maybe it's personal, that he'll say, okay, I'll give you the money. You know, I'll give you the money, and you know, let's see what happens. But you know, it's tougher than it's ever been, but it's also easier than it's ever been.
Well, I mean, I think you're right. I think it's like the will to make movies is there, and you've got to have grit, and you got to you know, believe in yourself, and you got to take lots of chances. Yeah, you know, you got to take lots of chances with people's money too. Yeah. That's the hard part. You know, is that you're going to risk someone's dough in a market that's really difficult to put out. And if you wonder why it's difficult, it's because Netflix has become a monolith, a monster in their business, and they make so many movies, and they make them with whoever they want to make them with, and sometimes they do require that you have some sort of delivery experience, right? You're just you're like a technician. Like they're not looking, at the highest level, they're looking for super creative people to give a bunch of money to. But at the smaller level, they're just looking for you to be a technician. Just get it done, deliver it, make sure it's well, make sure it's not over budget, and make sure it's a good movie. So you can do that between $2 million and $2.5 million, and then you've got Lifetime, and you've got some of these other networks who are leaving because cable's dying, that are saying like, oh, we'd like you to make a movie for $750,000. Brian Herzlinger went and made a movie for under $1 million starring Maria Menounos, and I don't know who else was in it, but he made it overseas. How do you do that? Like, I don't even know. I've never asked him, but honestly, I just don't know how you...
It's got to be a big tax break.
Oh, you're right. So if you get 30% on $750...
like in Wales, it's like 40 right now.
We'll ask him on the podcast in Buffalo.
That's true. Assuming,
is he directing?
He's not going to be in Buffalo.
He's not directing the first one. He's directing the second one.
So, anyways,
he came up with a great idea that was hard to turn down.
I'm phoning in.
You want to hear his idea?
I like the other idea. Well, yes, I want to hear his idea. But what happened to Kendall's idea? I like that one.
Oh, I don't know. That's a complicated story. I don't know why it didn't get made. I have no idea. And no one seems to understand that. But they paid for the script. He got paid. But Herzlinger's idea was right off the bat interesting. It's called Mission Merry Christmas. So right off the bat, it's a good name. And it's about this it's about this newscaster who works on morning TV. So he's kind of like a little bit of a puppet, always doing like fun, goofy segments. And he really just wants to be a sportscaster. So this one day, right before Christmas, he's interviewing a little kid who kind of lost everything and wants this really specific toy for Christmas. And the guy who's interviewing him is our lead. He eventually gets off the air and promises to get him the toy because he's like, what's a big deal? I'll go get you the toy. I'll just go to the store. Anyway, can't find the toy anyway. It's like the number one selling toy of the season.
It's like the Cabbage Patch Dolls back then.
Yeah, exactly. So it's kind of like that. So the story where it goes is eventually this guy has to find the guy who made the toy, the guy who invented the toy, and go to his house. So they go to his house, and it kind of turns into Willy Wonka, right? He shows up, and he's all magical and floats down to them. But when he gets there, he's like, what are you guys doing here? You can't just show up at people's houses because you can't find a toy, right? So the whole movie is them trying to get this toy and them showing up at this Willy Wonka type toy maker's house where they all learn something about themselves. And does he get the toy? Well, you have to watch the movie to figure it out.
Wow. Most importantly, what's the Christmas miracle?
It's high concept. Well, he gets the toy, of course.
Is that the Christmas miracle?
He does get the toy.
Jingle all the way.
Or does it happen during Christmas?
Yeah, jingle all the way, yeah. He does get the toy. He does get the toy, and the lead learns something, and actually even the Willy Wonka character, he sort of learns something
he falls
too.
in love with the mom.
Yeah. No, Willy Wonka falls in love with the mom, and it gets serious. It gets serious.
Damn! Now it turns into like then Willy Wonka's going to come after him.
Yeah.
So it turns into a thriller. I like where you're going with this, Davey Dave.
It actually
then it becomes a slasher.
Yeah, and it turns into like a Charles Bronson movie.
Oh, there we go.
He gets lost in Wonka's house.
See, those
is this going to be under $750?
No, that one we're making, so it's not going to be under $750.
That one's.
No, that one's going to be a little bit more.
Did I ever tell you the time when we got off the plane with Wahlberg? And he said, I don't know, it was like 5 a.m. We flew through the night off his plane. And we were walking to the cars. And I don't know why I said, what'd you guys make that movie for? It was with Halle Berry. He goes, I think it was like $150. And I said, $150,000? And he looked at me, he goes, $150 million. And I was like, I couldn't even comprehend it. It's like 5 in the morning. I was like, $150 million.
And for him, it's nothing.
No, it was like, it was just like
normal.
$50. What? I go, what'd you make that movie for? He goes, I think it was like $150. I go, $150,000? And it's like, he looked at me, he goes, 150 million. And I was like, 150.
Wait, how much is that?
Wait, it's like 5 in the morning. The sun's coming up. We've been on the fucking plane. It was the funniest shit. I think he thought I was crazy because he just kind of was like, okay.
But you know,
that's next level.
There's next level people making. I mean, I went to a talk. I went to see the Pirates of the Caribbean, or Caribbean, whatever you want to call it. And Jerry Bruckheimer came and spoke after. And they were asking him questions, and I think one of the questions was like, you know, how much did the budget start at? What did the budget end up being? And I think he said something like, it started at $250 million, but we needed $380 million.
Jesus.
He goes, so I had to go in and ask for $130 million more, and they were really upset about that. So I ended up having to make it for. They only gave me another $100 million, so I had to make it for $450 million or something crazy. It was crazy numbers, but you know that's what Jerry Bruckheimer does, right? He works in hundreds of millions of dollars. His overages are enormous, and you know, and I think the studio gives him what he wants because he makes billions of dollars for them in revenue. So,
but you know what, Jerry Bruckheimer probably started off making independent films, right?
I don't know if he did. He wasn't. He was an accountant or something like that.
Yeah, he wasn't in the business.
No, he wasn't. No, he was.
He was like a regular dude.
So Bruckheimer was partners with Don Simpson. It was Simpson Bruckheimer, and they ran Sony and they ran Warner Brothers. But Bruckheimer wasn't the creative part of that team.
He was the business.
He was the business, and then Don Simpson died because he was a maniac, and then. Like that was the emergence of Jerry Bruckheimer.
Oh wow!
And then Jerry Bruckheimer like exploded like a phoenix out of the fucking ground.
What year was that? That was in the 80s, right?
Yeah. Don Simpson was a hairstylist, and he did like all the stars' hairs and stuff. And he met Barbra Streisand and had an affair with her, and ended up producing
Stars Born.
Yeah, so he started dating Barbra Streisand and. I don't know. Somehow he convinced her to do A Star Is Born, and he produced it. And apparently he was great at marketing. He told Warner Brothers how to market it and what to do, and they listened to him, and he ended up becoming like this legendary producer, all from being like a hairstylist that had a lot of confidence and and thought he knew what he was talking about, and then that stuff worked. I mean, he was also, Barbra Streisand was one of the biggest stars in the world at the time, so.
Yeah. That helps.
What are you going to do? Yeah. That helps, yeah. I mean, we're sort of in that world a little bit with Mario Lopez, right? We're making Mario Lopez movies.
We're in the game.
Doing what we do. But are you?
Well, I'll put it this way: we're around it.
Dude, we're around it.
We're in the stands.
Yeah, we're making
getting off planes with Mark Wahlberg asking 150,000,
150 million,
150 million. Discombobulated.
Right.
That's funny. We're in a split squad on a doubleheader.
Seriously. But, but the business is still out there. There's all kinds of dudes on Instagram now talking about, what's happening and the studios and Netflix, and they're building studios and no one's working at them. You know that guy you send over all the time?
Yeah.
It's interesting because I suppose it must be true, right? Like there's not...
It's on the internet.
If it's on the internet, it's true, right? If there's someone talking about it. But it's hard because the business will always need product.
True.
They'll always need filmmakers that are innovative and brand new and interesting.
And safe.
And there's a lot. Yeah, I mean, dude, there's a lot of networks that are making safe movies, making movies that appeal to, groups that don't want violence and don't want cussing and don't want anything that's that
well, yes,
creative.
I mean safe in the sense of like you've done, like you were saying earlier, like you could deliver. You've done it before. Your movies are like, they're not innovative. They're not amazing. They're safe. They're like, okay, let's make this movie. We know there's an audience. We know that people are going to watch it. We know this person could do them. He's done them in the past. She's done them in the past. They produced them. They directed them. They did. Let's just keep hiring this person.
Mm-hmm. No, absolutely. That's how Mar Vista exists. Mar Vista. There's a bunch of companies. Fuse. There's a bunch of companies that are just doing it all the time. Now, look, this is really interesting. if you look at it this way, you've got networks that have a mandate. They have to make 23 movies a year. All those movies are budgeted around 2.5, 2 million, 3 million. They have to deliver 20 movies a year, no matter what. So from the business standpoint, those movies just need to get made. So if you're the executive at that company, are you going to take a risk on different filmmakers for every one, or are you going to go to filmmakers that you know just work in this genre, work at that budget range? You know you're not going to get any blowback from them. Yeah. You know they're just going to do the work. They're not going to show up one day and go like, we're going to shoot this in Bulgaria because it'd be amazing. That, you know, there's nothing creative about it, right? You got to go get it made, do the best you can. So you're going to hire people that just kind of do it. They're just technicians that are going to bring you a good movie.
Or you can go Herzlinger style, raise the money, $750 on your own, and then sell it for $250 or $2.5, right? Or $2, and make a profit. Does that happen or not really?
Yeah. Yeah, it's really it's really tough. I mean, I think they definitely made a profit on that movie. Herzlinger did. I don't know all the details of it, but it's probably not a super profitable way to do it. The one good thing is that they have a library piece. So in 5 years, they get it back and they get to resell it. And who knows where the market will be? Maybe people are buying, you know, Christmas stuff all over the place in 5 years, and they get another 200,000 out of it, 250,000. Who knows? It's a tough biz. But I want to talk about ExtremeMusic.com for a sec. ExtremeMusic.com's been with us for a long time.
Our gracious sponsor. I was talking about them today because on our next film, A Christmas Spark, which that name's going to change, but that's what it's called now.
That's the firefighter movie?
Mm-hmm. We have, there's this one karaoke scene. And again, like, you never know what's going to get thrown at you music-wise in your movie. There's a karaoke scene, and we want it to be sort of like an anthem, and everyone's supposed to join in and sing. So I told the director, I go on extrememusic.com, listen to all of their Christmas stuff, and find out which one people can join in and sing to, and we'll turn it into like a karaoke thing. So she found this song from a Glee album. It's not Glee the show, but it's called Glee, Christmas Glee, and they do all a cappella stuff. And there's a song called "Hark the Herald Angels Sing," and it's a perfect song. So what we did was, she said, I like this song, but there's a lead vocal on it, and it's supposed to be karaoke. So, of course, if you go to Extreme Music, you could remove the lead vocal and turn it into a karaoke song. So we're going to do that with that song. We're going to license it. We're going to remove the lead vocal. Mario and the other lead are going to sing their pieces like karaoke, so it could be bad, not have a great voice, and still do it. And then when it gets to the chorus, like the whole place is going to join in. So, yeah, that's extrememusic.com. No matter what you're doing, you could be doing a karaoke scene, or want something that sounds like score, or want something that fits a bar or a restaurant or a club. And they have it all. extrememusic.com for all your music needs.
They're the best.
So
we should get Russ in one of the movies playing guitar in the background.
Russ Emanuel?
Yeah. He's been good to us.
He's been amazing. We should get him to score one of them. He scored.
Give me hot sauce again, because that hot sauce
was it good?
Yeah, I missed it.
Oh man, I don't think I got one. I think you guys ended up with them. Wow. Well, I'd like one.
Yeah, you didn't miss much.
Okay, hook it up, Russ. But you're right. We should get Russ to play on one of the songs. That'd be fun. But yeah, Extreme Music for all your music needs, man. I feel like this show was a little bit of a Debbie Downer. Like, I don't know if we gave anyone some inspiration, but I will say,
keeping it real.
I was about to say,
just to leave you with some positive stuff. Beautiful Darkness. Yeah. I don't know if we talked about this. Best Picture, drama, thriller, at the San Diego Film Festival. Directed, written by Rod Rinks. Very successful film. We've been to, I think we've finalists in like 4 or 5 festivals. We've been officially. We're official entries to like 8 or 9 festivals, and we've won 1.
Yeah.
So it's very exciting. The movie still continues to do well, and in a world where it's hard to do things that get noticed, we're getting noticed, and that's a positive thing. So if you're making movies, go do a short. A short will get you noticed.
Yeah. I don't think this show was a Debbie Downer. I think we were just like, honestly, that's the truth where we're at. You know,
but I'd love to get on the show. I feel like when we started the show 5 years ago, we were talking about.
Well, because it's 5 years ago, fool.
5 years ago. Was 5 years ago a better time than now?
Yeah, I think so.
It was.
I think there's light at the end of the tunnel. You know what I mean? I just think that we just got to lower our expectations financially. I think that there's a lot more opportunity for filmmakers than there's ever been. I just think that you could go and make a movie for not a lot of money, and you're not going to get paid as much, but you'll be able to get your work out there, especially as an independent filmmaker. Go make movies. Like whatever the price is going to be, it's going to be. Just keep like the guy, and I got this from the dude who directed Lenora. He was talking about it, and he was saying like, look, this is 30 years in the making. He's been at it for 30 years, and he's still not, from what I took, he's not making a bunch of money. This is his first, he's nominated for an Oscar, but the thing that I took away from that was he just kept going.
Yeah.
It didn't matter what the price was, he just kept going.
Yeah.
So
I like that.
Don't get discouraged. Don't think that you don't have enough. That you're always going to need more. You're going to always want more, but sometimes you just got to say, let's fucking go.
Yeah.
And let's just do it,
Agreed. So get out and do it. By the way, Beautiful Darkness up for Film of the Year as a thriller drama for the San Diego Film Festival. We'll let you know if it won when we talk to you next time. So thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time on Film Hustlers.
Don't be Debbie Downer, Roberts. Wake up.
Dude, you guys were all Debbie Downer on that one.
Celsius didn't work, did it?
It did not.